Hey guys, welcome back to Generation Acres Farm. Long time no see. We haven't pulled the camera out for a little while. Things have been really busy between kind of trying to wrap up our school year with homeschooling and then trying to balance the time between where we want to spend our time, which is at the land, you know, fixing things up there and getting things ready for building the house and that kind of thing. And then also needing to be here at our current home, fixing it up and getting it ready to sell. So it's been a little crazy, busy. We're gonna try to pull out the camera a little more often and be a little bit more consistent here on this channel. But I thought that today would be a great day to take you through the gardens, and it's the very beginning of June. So I'm just gonna kind of share where we are this year so far, and then maybe I'll be able to update monthly or every other week, I don't know, something like that, on kind of what the gardens are looking like and that kind of thing. I've mentioned in other videos that we are doing, we're basically cutting our garden in half this year and doing half as much as we normally do, just because of the things I mentioned before. We're being pulled a lot of different directions, and I'm trying to be smart. As much as I want to plant the whole thing and fill it with fruits and vegetables, I need to be smart about where I'm spending my time and accept the reality that it's all just going to turn into a weedy mess if I stretch myself too thin in the garden. So I'll just give you a quick little tour out there. I'll do the vegetable garden, and then the beds out front, which are just flowers, of course, are looking really beautiful too. So I'll give you a tour of those as well. So I'll start over here on the left side of the garden. This is the Swiss chard that has bolted. I don't know why. I was able to keep it last year all through the season and it never bolted, and all through the summer. So I don't know if it's getting too hot here, but some of the plants are doing okay, but some have bolted, so I'm not exactly sure why. Next I have some parsley and a volunteer potato. We had some potatoes in our compost. You can actually see the potato right down there in our compost over there, our compost pile. And so there's some potatoes sneaking up here, but there's my parsley and some dill and basil. And then over here on this row, I'm growing ground cherries for the first time this year. My friend actually started these from seed, and she started more than she could grow or has space for. So they're already fruiting, which is cool. I have these two here, and then I have more as well. And then next to those, have some different types of tomatoes. This one, I'm not sure what type this is. I have this one here. This one's an apricot cherry tomato, and these are Drusba tomatoes. A lot of these are ones that my friend started, and she, like I said, she didn't have space for all of them. And then here I have a row of flowers. So these are an aster. I think it's like some pretty like pastel colors. I really loved having asters last year. And then cosmos, of course, which for me is like a garden staple. They just bring in all the pollinators, which I love. And then a couple of zinnias down here at the end. And then next row, we have, these are flowers of some kind, and I can't remember off the top of my head what they are, but those are flowers. Then I have another ground cherry, and I believe another potato has snuck in here, and then a tomato I ran out of tomato cages for. And then I have a row of sunflowers. So this needs to be weeded, but you can see they're doing their thing. They're gonna be blooming pretty soon, which is exciting. Cucumber plant that's not doing so hot. I don't know if I need to weed around it a little bit better or what, but it just the growth is kind of stunted. On the other side of that trellis, this one's looking better, but still growing pretty slow for what I would like. But I did see there's a tiny little cucumber there. So that's exciting. So that was that side of the garden. And then this is kind of our line. And then we're not gardening in this side. I started putting cardboard down to try to suppress the weeds, but it kind of looks bad, or it definitely looks bad, and it wasn't really working very well. So I actually ordered a silage tarp from Amazon that I'm going to be putting down because, like I said, we're going to be listing our house, and we do need it looking pretty nice. Here's some extra peppers that I had also from my friend who started them. I don't have space for them, so I'm actually giving them to a neighbor. And then over here is our rosemary, and then our strawberry patch, which has been one of our favorite things ever. Every year the kids just spend so much time out here picking strawberries and eating as many as they want, and they just keep producing tons and tons of berries for us. I just feel like everyone should have a strawberry patch. It's just one of the simplest things to grow. I don't fertilize. I honestly don't even hardly water them, and they just do their thing. And obviously I don't hardly weed the area either, as you can see, and they're just super resilient and doing awesome. And then lastly, in the backyard, I'll show you my hollyhocks. They got some hollyhock rust, I think it's called, and I didn't know if they would bloom at all this year, but they did. They don't look perfect. There's some spots on them, but they're still quite pretty, especially from a distance, if you don't look too closely. So that's it for the backyard gardens. Let me show you the front. Here's my hydrangea bush that's putting on quite the show this year. I love how they're a little bit of pink and bluish purple. Over here I have my Dahlia plants. I ordered these tubers early in the year, and then they sent them to me and I got them planted, and they're looking awesome. I think those will be blooming soon. Out front I have these pretty beds with these perennial daisies that just keep coming back every year. I have my super petunias out front. I love to plant those for some annual color. And then I have my Echinacea coneflower about to bloom here on this plant, and then here is what it'll look like when it's all bloomed. So I kind of alternate the daisies and the coneflower. Here needs to be weeded. And then I have these two pots flanking the front steps, which is a lemon coral sedum, some sort of grass. I can't remember the type of grass that is. And then a super bells. Super bells there. And then more of that same, the daisy coneflower mixture. I have a peony that bloomed for the first time this year. And over here is my crazy bed of black-eyed Susans. This all came from one plant when I was traveling in Pennsylvania, and they have spread so much and just taken over. I have some really beautiful like coral yarrow that my mother-in-law gave me, a random cedar, whatever that is. These are so pretty though. So that's that side, and I'll show you the butterfly garden. Butterfly garden has looked better in years past. I've lost some perennials here. I'm not sure why, but I have some blue mist flower, a butterfly bush, and I can't remember what that is. There's some more coneflower, and then a really big butterfly bush here. And this is Indian Summer. The Black-Eyed Susan, Indian Summer it's called. Some more daisies. And then I have my milkweed or butterfly weed. And I have some visitors. We've gotten 3 monarch caterpillars from just these milkweed plants so far this year, and then we take them inside in our little nursery for them. They're not inside, it's actually on the back deck, where we have more milkweed and they eat to their heart's content, and then they form their chrysalis, and then we're able to release them.
You're the rose in a garden,